We've been spending so much time over at the Legasea that today I get to spend some time here at the Reptarium. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna go over to the Legasea and see some progress, but I get to spend some time with my animals here, which I'm super excited about. We're actually doing a little hobby training thing right here. See, when he touches the ball, he gets a treat. And he's getting little peanuts and Cheerios today. Good job. But what we've been trying to do is get a lot of our animals trained to where they'll actually go up and station on it. It's just really cute. We don't know if he'll actually do it or not. See if he goes, up there he goes, Javi, way to go. That is so freaking awesome. And actually later in the vlog, for those few people that have been asking for a little health update on me, I'd like to share it with you, but that's later in the vlog. So if you don't want to know about it, you don't have to watch it. It'll be the end of the vlog. But in the meantime, I'm over here at the Reptarium. And sure enough, work needs to be done over here too. If you notice, there's no glass in this store because this door actually fell off and broke, so we have to fix it. Fortunately, we're good friends with Zoomed. There's a ton of lights there, some enclosures and stuff like that. When we opened up Reptarium 1.0, they actually sent us all of these enclosures, all of the lighting, the UV lighting, the UVB and everything like that. So Zoomed really took care of us on 1.0. And in 2.0, they really didn't help us out with enclosures because we had bigger enclosures over here, but they did go ahead and help us out with all the lighting. Again, UVB, basking light, sun lamp, but that's not all. When we did the New Caledonia room, sure enough, they hooked us up with all of the enclosures and lighting. What are you doing here? Run over a scraper? You gonna help out?
Screwdriver, a scraper, and a tape measure. I got all I need.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. And now they donated some more enclosures and a ton of lighting. There's probably about $10,000 just in lighting alone. And Zoomed's been so amazing to us. Like I said, they've supported everything. They sponsor animal content. Show Zoomed some love for us. But thankfully, they ended up sending skyscrapers, which we need. But because that enclosure is broke over here, we actually have to take one of these off. Basically, you have to be super careful not to bust this thing. What we want to do is just basically pry this up enough where this comes off without breaking it.
You can see it's super easy. There we go.
Now we got the glass off. Unfortunately, I have to buy a new door somehow. I'm going to have to see if Zoomed can send me a door. I don't even know how it broke across the street. I mean, it's been there for 5.5 years. It's going to happen, so let's go ahead and install this across the street. Whoa, shoot, let me get that screwdriver. There it goes. Ba-boom, all fixed. Thanks, Zoomed. And you may be surprised by this, but I'm kind of surprised by this. Through all this, I really hadn't thought about these walls. Now, granted, this is back of the house, right? This is where filtration goes over here. And then the back wall over there is going to actually have reptile cages all the way on it. And then the back of the house is that way. So no one's going to see these walls. You still have a lot of humidity. You want a little insulation going on. So we have to actually paint these walls out with basically a sealant so that if any water gets in there, we don't get condensation and stuff like that. I hadn't even thought about it. Didn't even think about it in the budget. And so now I'm waiting on a price to come back anytime to find out how much it's going to cost to paint all of these exterior walls. And of course, we have the front of the building basically done when it comes to the steel, except for the entrance here. And they actually sent a different crew to do this. It's a pretty intense job right here because there's a ton of bevels. So everything has to be bent, has to be perfect. And if something is even just a millimeter off here or there, it's going to make the entire thing messed up. This job is going to be a very, very skilled job, but it's going to look so cool because again, we've got the blue, we've got the bronze, and now this is going to be kind of a gray silver color. And by the way, I read through the comments, you guys had some amazing ideas how we can make this pop a little more. This big blue spot over here, there's going to be a giant light up sign, and we're going to have LED lights that go along the entire way. So we're going to have some color pops there, but we're definitely going to do some graphics, and your guys' ideas were some really good ones, so you may see what your ideas on the front of our building.
Oh! Hey guys, nice to see you guys today, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's back here at the Reptarium, and it's really, really exciting. My back's a little sore from all the volleyball lately, but that's all right. I'm actually gonna go through, we're gonna feed some things. We're gonna start with the fish, which is really crazy. I don't know if you guys noticed anything different. Can you notice anything different? No, I'll tell you. Lee, our head or marine biologist, fish keeper here. Aquarius? Is that the word?
That or Scorpio or Taurus, I can't, or Aries. I think he's an Aries.
Oh, but what if he's a scorpion fish? So our lead aquarist, Lee Aquarius. Yeah, that made sense. He decided that it would be such a good idea to actually put this bacterial, like sand crushed up shell, I don't even know what it is, in the fish pot, and that obviously helps bring up the bacteria, good bacteria, and it also makes the tanks, I think, look really, really cool. Today we're actually gonna be feeding them some nori tang food. How do you say that?
Nipnori.
Did I say it right? I said it right. Nori tang. You know, we're not open all day, every day, so they need some other stuff. So I like to break it up just a little bit. Then I'll literally just drop that right in there, and they will just crush that. It is one of the coolest things.
It's like a mini shark attack.
It's like, yeah, it's like a little, like, sharks or little piranhas eating something cool. I like it. I don't know why. Come to eat the food, and then I'm just gonna drop that in there, and they'll just crush it, dude. It's so cool. Smaller, bigger guys crushing the big flakes. I might be turning into a fish guy.
Would you feed her,
We're gonna feed salt and pepper now. I'm just feeding some
Can
stuff.
I help you?
It's watching you.
always funny. I always come back to Perdita whenever I come to play with animals. Because she was kind of the animal that started, you know, with the Reptarium. When we got the Reptarium, we brought her over. She was like the star animal. I mean, I remember when we were first opening 1.0, like all day long, people just wanted to handle Perdita. This was the snake that people would come, literally come through the door and say, where's that black and white snake? 5.5 years later, she's still as popular as ever, and she's amazing. So it's nice just to spend a little time with the animals today, rather than just working on construction constantly. As we're spending most of our day at the Reptarium today, Felipe's crew is still working hard over here. And one of their jobs they're doing is actually the floating stairs, which is starting to look absolutely fantastic. And Felipe's crew has been absolutely incredible. Their work ethic is amazing. Sometimes they're here till 7 or 8 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. This is the type of crew we need to get this thing done in the timeline that we have.
Are these gonna go here and then just flatten it out?
Yeah, Andy just said we'll take the bushes, everything, just... Yeah,
The islands, just flatten everything out?
Just,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so what's up? You got the quote back for the painting of the walls?
Yeah, this is painting the walls. Last
Right.
night in the text, I thought that was the additional to paint the steel.
No, that ended up only coming in at $1,000.
Where was that at? Because I didn't see that.
We didn't get a quote. He just verbally said they're going to charge us $1,000 extra to paint the girders.
Okay, nobody told me that.
Well, yeah.
I thought that's what this was. So it's all the cinder block, all four
the
cinder block walls.
Right, yeah. So it came in at $21,000.
I know
we don't
we
have
had-
that. You think we had that in budget?
Yeah, painting walls. We knew we had to paint the freaking walls. What are they doing for $21,000?
They've got to do, let's see, fill all new and existing blocks never been painted. Like they fill the gaps.
So I could do the same thing, and I could just loot this, and I could like make it up.
No,
Well, I'm gonna guess that what they're gonna do is fill the crevices. It says fill.
Specific type of paint that you could paint ceiling or whatever, and it just dry falls onto the ground. It doesn't make it doesn't mess out your ground up. You should be able to take the 2270 off of that.
This is
I
because the
gotcha.
backside,
Yeah.
the backside is cinder block. The front side is brick because that was the front of the building originally.
And I'm assuming this is the same thing. So this is that front thing here. So this is probably going to be half. $2,000. That should be $19,000 then.
Tell them because they're in
Right,
there
yeah,
right
yeah.
now working on it. So
They're
I
in there
don't-
right now working on it.
Well,
no.
They were doing some filling in and stuff.
Well,
I don't
right.
want them to
That's
do
it.
something
That's a
that-
mason. That's a mason guy. That's not a paint guy. They're not going to paint this for a bit.
I can't even believe, I knew we knew this was something that needed to be done, and how is there not a line for painting?
I hope that we budgeted enough for that.
Okay, I thought this was the quote for painting the beams, and I was gonna tell them to shove it.
No, yeah, definitely not. No, that's
Because
the
I
quote
was
for the
gonna be
walls.
painting the beams for $20,000.
No, we're theming most of the beams anyways.
Okay.
As you can see, they actually have the first layer of the aquafin. You can see where basically they stop. And what happens with the aquafin, it's the sealer that keeps the water in the tank. Because cement is still porous and could leak a little bit, this actually seals the cement, but you have to put 2 or 3 coats on. The thing with this is so crazy is that you have to put it on between 4 and 20 hours after the first coat. If it's past the 20 hours, it literally doesn't work anymore. So they have to time out each and every exhibit so that they can come back within 4 to 20 hours and redo it, or it's gonna be a complete bust. And it will leak all over the place. So it's really all about timing.
So, Connor, did you know that crocodilians have been around for 100 million years?
I thought it was like 60 million.
No, they've been around longer than the dinosaurs.
Mike, how would you know? No one's there. No one was ever there.
There's literally pictures of crocodilians next to T-Rex.
In your pop-up coloring books.
Come on, look at any Nat Geographic. They always show a giant crocodile eating a T-Rex. God, watch the movie.
Mike, you need some more hobbies.
I like cars, reptiles, and dinosaurs. Let's not forget about volleyball.
Okay.
Salty! Woo! Crocodile! Ah! Alright, so we're gonna do that. Safety first.
Salty!
Big girl! Come on. Come on, come on, stand up, stand up. You gotta stand up, not the ground. She's a little special. Come here. Salty.
Oh, I missed.
What? What are you throwing? Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
She's trying to eat the ground. Salty, come on. Good girl, that's what I want. Let's go.
Ooh, good catch.
Nice guy. Come on, open up. Good girl, that's what I'm talking about, big girl. Last piece for Salty. Come on. it's pretty good.
I made mention that we're actually going to be moving Juliet over and Lucy is going to stay here. So I just got off the phone with Stuart from Universal Rock. He's the one that's building all these enclosures, and usually I go down and help him. This time he's doing it on his own because I can't really travel and spend the time. Got a lot going on here. He called me up about the enclosure that Juliet's going. He's like, hey mate, should we put a pond in there? Stuart, do whatever you want. He's such an artistic, incredible guy. So although we've been talking about fish and fish and fish, we've been working on the reptile side just as hard, and the cages for the reptiles are going to start showing up here in the next week or two, and then continue to show up throughout the next month and a half or so until we're completely done. I cannot wait to see what an artist and absolute genius like Stuart comes up with. So the ceiling guy's got all the foam up. It looks really cool. Again, we wanted it really textured, cavey type of feeling, and then it's going to be blacked out. But the problem is that this area here has to have the fire retardant still sprayed on it, but because we've got the aquafin down here, no one can go in there for another 3 days. They actually have to put scaffolding here to spray paint the fire retardant paint on here before they can black it out. They can't get in here. Now we have a postponement for 3 days of the ceiling getting painted. That's just all part of it. 3 days from now, they'll finish the fire retardant, and then they're going to black out the entire ceiling.
What are you doing?
Acrylic.
Are you cutting this for them to go in?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ron, they're cutting acrylic. I don't know for which tank, but they're cutting acrylic right now.
Problem is that we need the silicone to go in so that you can actually set them so that they're sealed. The silicone was supposed to be here a day or two ago. It might show up today, by the latest tomorrow. Although they're getting ready and they could literally start to install the acrylic whenever that silicone gets here. We're just kind of waiting and we're dead in the water there. In the meantime, they're just cutting this size so that they're ready to go when the silicone shows up. As you can see, they have to make several cuts in order to get through that thick acrylic. That's 2 inches thick of acrylic. And if you did it in one swipe, you would actually crack, or what they call craze, the acrylic. So it's important to make little cuts, then flip over and do the final cut on the other side. I mean, just take a look at the size of this acrylic right here. And acrylic is not cheap at all. So if you ruin a piece like this, I mean, we're talking about thousands of dollars for a piece of acrylic like they're cutting right over there. So you definitely don't want to mess that up.
All right, so now here's the scary part. Now we got to get Pepper Station up there without Salt getting excited from the food call. So we'll see how that goes. You want to keep an eye on her?
I'm already doing that.
Starts to move, don't get bit, okay? Come on, all the way up top. She is actually getting really good with this station training. Oh, that's a rock. Oh, good girl. Dude, how awesome is it? She is one of 12 in the world. Pepper, up. There we go.
Can I do one?
This is really close.
Up,
Yep,
up,
go
up,
right
up,
her
up.
up, right her up.
Ooh,
Nice,
elegant.
dude. That was
10
good.
out of 10.
Pepper, up. Big
Salt.
big
Stay.
No, up top. Up.
He gets really
Pepper,
jazzed up
big
about
girl,
it
come on.
in this room.
Come on, let's go. Oh. Who's that good girl? Not so little anymore though. Jeez. I love you so much. Little butt slap.
And like I mentioned, I wanted to give you guys a little health update. I'll get into some details, but I know you guys are curious, and a lot of you have been commenting like, Brian, you look healthier. You know, you can see you've got some hair growing back. Obviously, my beard's growing back. As a matter of fact, after 5 months of chemotherapy, not being able to grow any hair on my entire body, I don't know if I'll ever shave again, and I'm going to just let my hair grow as long as I can. The next treatment, you know, I don't really know what's going on with, you know, I've been off of treatment for about 10 weeks now. I mean, you can think about it like it's good because I feel good and I feel energetic and I'm kind of back to myself. You know, there's some pain that I'm dealing with that comes from the tumor. So you guys know I haven't had a scan in about 2 months, but the last scan I talked to you about, you know, is growing and spreading a bit. And I can feel it's like the pain is a little bit worse and it's kind of amping up and stuff like that. But other than that, I feel great. I'm excited. I want to get going, but I also know that I've got to get back into treatment at some point. You know, I can't go like this because I'm really rolling the dice and things are probably getting worse. And I've been trying to look for clinical trials. I was offered one clinical trial. It was a phase 1 trial. And just so you know, there's phase 1 and there's phase 2 and then there's phase 3 and phase 4. But phase 1 and phase 2 are kind of the things that I could potentially be offered. The phase 1, they enroll like 3 or 4 people, and that's it. And a lot of times it has never been tested on humans. They test it in labs and they know what they're doing, but they don't really know what the effects on humans is. And one of the things with this trial that I was offered was it was affecting eyesight and cornea damage, and I just didn't feel comfortable with making that decision, so that was the first one I turned down. I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks there's one that's a phase 2, which is a little bit different. That means it's already past phase 1 and it's on to phase 2 trials, which means that it's already been tested for what they call escalating of treatment. they don't know how much to give you, so they just keep on escalating it until you can't tolerate it anymore. Once you get into phase 2, they already know the dose level, and it's been tested a little bit. Now they enroll maybe 1,000 people into a trial in phase 2, and then hopefully that works. So hopefully I can get a phase 2 trial. I'm working really hard at it. I'm going to be meeting in 2 weeks with an oncologist that has a phase 2 trial that's targeted therapy. Don't know if I can even get into the trial, but that's the trial that I'm kind of targeting right now. That might be good. It's still kind of a nasty treatment, but it's targeting just the cancer and it's not killing all the other cells. So the side effects aren't as bad, because trust me, after 5 months of being on chemotherapy, not just any chemotherapy, but the worst chemotherapy you could possibly get, it was hell, guys. And here I am feeling so much better, but I also know on the inside things aren't going so good, and if I don't do anything, the outcome might, unless I get a miracle, it's not going to be good. That's where I'm at health-wise. And guys, it's been a tough year, I mean, there's so many beautiful things that have happened in my life. I'm so excited about the legacy. The Reptarium's been going great. The people around me, we're growing our staff. We're bringing new people on that are amazing. And it's really good. But there's a lot of shit, I'm not going to lie to you. Going through this health thing sucked. And then yesterday to top it off, I had to put my dog down, Zeusy. You guys have been watching the vlog for a while. Remember Zeus, the black German Shepherd? He's my buddy, 10 years old. And he's been going downhill, having some health issues the last year or so. We've done everything we could do, but he was at the end. He was hurting. One of the most painful things I could ever imagine. But I really believe that I'll see him again. I hope it'll be many years from now, but he'll be waiting for me because he's a loyal dog. And right now he's playing with Artie, my husky that passed away 5 years ago. I believe that. I believe they're playing together, and I love him to death. So it's been a tough year. And it's been interesting because it's been such a juxtaposition. So many amazing things are happening and so many horrible things are happening at the same time. And I've just got to keep smiling and keep trying to be positive. I'm not giving up, guys. And I'm going to grow this hair out as long as I can. And hopefully this therapy I get into, I can keep my hair growing and I can keep my beard growing. Because you know what? It may not seem like a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to me. As my hair is growing, I feel more normal. I don't feel like a cancer patient as much. See, I don't want to give a lot of health updates because I try not to think about it. I just think positive and I'm laser focused. So thank you for noticing that I'm stronger and I look better and I've gained some weight. That's because I'm off of treatment. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be off of treatment for long. I'm going to be back on treatment again, and hopefully I won't have the same effect. So I pray for everybody that's going through it now. I'm here for you guys. And if you know people that are going through treatment, realize how hard it is. It was the hardest 5 months of my life. I'm not looking forward to what's next, but I have no choice but to battle. I'm going to battle for my family. I'm going to battle for my friends. I'm going to battle for you guys so that we can all celebrate together. So that's it. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise